So what you've basically got here is Jurassic Park if Jeff Goldblum had randomly started snorting Triceratops horns. I've been waiting for this bad boy. Horror comedy has become a tour de force lately, and we are getting treated this year with Companion, Hard Eyes, and now this, all within the first 4 months of the year. That is diabolical, and it's amazing, and it's got exactly what we want to see on the big screen in it. It's got the rich being unforgivably horrible in an obvious, clear way to drill some points into the head of the people who really need some points drilled into their head regarding the rich. Death of a Unicorn is about Jenna Ortega and her dad, Paul Rudd. What a pairing. Showing the true life story of how Paul Rudd stopped aging, because ain't no way he's doing this with anything short of unicorn blood. Also, the way this Jenna Ortega character gets along with unicorns is exactly the way that all Jenna Ortega characters would get along with unicorns, and I think that's some marvelously weird typecasting going on there. Yeah, you just know it. You think about any of our characters, you're like, yep, no. He's a lawyer, she's a sullen teenager, aka a Jenna Ortega character, and they're traveling into the wilderness to visit their rich friends who are really rich. In case you didn't realize, they're really freaking rich. And on the way, they hit and kill a unicorn, and the rich people decide that maybe they should use it to cure cancer. Tell no one. A classic story as old as time, yeah. And from there, the kind of on-the-nose and in-the-nose themes just continue to run rampant in all sorts of hilarious ways. So yeah, they just use this beautiful creature's mutilated corpse as drugs and medicine, mostly drugs. And it's a classic tale, I guess. A few notes here. First, Will Poulter is a golden treasure trove of comedy that we have not been using appropriately, and my god, he is breathtaking as just the complete package of a you love to hate him silver spoon nepo baby tech bro. Best possible version of this kind of character. He is wonderful. Richard E. Grant is also just amazing in his much more traditional sneaky rich bastard who loves to hunt kind of role. Tia Leone is also just perfect. The casting department, there's just so much props for this. Second, it's really hard to watch. It was a bitter pill to swallow watching Paul Rudd play such an unlikable character. I got over it eventually, but it sucked. Third, Jenna Ortega researching unicorns on her laptop for some reason just really brought me back to Kristen Stewart researching vampires on her laptop. Oh, it was beautiful. And it is, every time she anxiously vapes, a generational moment. There are problems here. The film can never quite commit to being as insane as humanly possible. You know, it tries to reel itself back in every time something especially manic happens. And the characters are a bit uneven, I guess, because Will Poulter is all mania. He is just insane the entire time, whereas Paul Rudd's character feels like he almost belongs in a more serious version of this film. And I think that's the problem. There are some themes, like Paul Rudd's character never listening to Jenna Ortega's character, that really, because they're both so good and make those little side bits emotionally devastating, it means it feels like it doesn't belong in a zany comedy. So the tonal issues are one of the bigger problems here. It's still got enough just laugh out loud moments, good, simple, familiar themes, and great things going on, and genuine kind of horror-y moments that it works. But a little uneven, I'd call it. This isn't of the Jordan Peele Get Out level of directorial debuts. I shouldn't even bring that up in the same sentence, honestly, but Alex Sharfman does a great job here at putting together something that I feel like it's going to make for a better, comfortable rewatch than it is a mind-blowing first-time viewing. I don't feel like this film's going to suffer anything from me having seen it before, and I feel like it's going to be very enjoyable to watch again. I would compare it to Abigail as far as the kind of recent comedy horror genre goes, and I love that it's on this kind of renaissance along with the horror genre, and I think that this wasn't a film necessarily trying to be a masterpiece. Some films really set out to be amazing and introduce comedic elements to try and satirize these great big themes. This felt more like a comedy that got a little bit too serious at certain points, but is generally just here to be zany and fun. And that's okay. Not everything has to be deathly serious, and I think that this worked really well being exactly that, and it just started to stray a little bit away from it at times. It's a little uneven, but I like the style well enough that I'll be looking forward to whatever Sharfman does next. And I'm giving Eat the Rich, Snort the Mythical 4 stars. There are so many Eat the Rich movies that I almost can't believe that nobody's done one like this before in this style, because it's so perfect in terms of both like marketing and just using those kind of themes. You know, it gets to brutally use those themes right in the notes. It's great. Anyway, subscribe if you want to watch Will Poulter snort more stuff. I'm going to start a petition.